Hello, it's PointyHairedJedi here, and, well, I didn't think I would have to be doing this at this moment. I was originally going to be recording some XCOM footage, but all of this hit the fan and then it went nuclear. And if you're wondering what I'm actually talking about, well, let me explain, because we are currently on my private side on YouTube, as you can see here, because I don't do any subscribing at the moment on my YouTube channel. And all of this has to begin last week, when a YouTuber by the name of Sir Fosh decided to do a very short review on a new premium tank, the Chrysler K Grand Finals. And from what I've actually heard, it was mostly profanities directed at Wargaming. And Wargaming didn't like it that well, and they requested that Sir Fosh, who was an EU community contributor, to take the video down. He refused, and then the person who told him said that if he didn't go ahead and take down the video, then they would go through YouTube and issue a copyright strike on his channel. He did actually end up taking the video down. I think he's also taken down the other video he made, because, yeah. So I'm certain I do actually have him in my private subscription list, my private channel subscription list, or private account subscription list. But unfortunately, it all went to hell, and everything that was discussed between this EU community team member for Wargaming EU and Sir Fosh went public, and it caused a complete and total shitstorm, even to the point that originally other EU community contributors, actually at this time Sir Fosh is no longer a part of that, they actually considered walking out because of this. And after, and this is I'll probably end up linking all the relative videos here, because after one of them, the Mighty Jingles, actually was actually in the Discord chat, in their private Discord channel, and said, well, if this is the company line, then I want no part of it. Excuse me, I'm going to have to prepare a statement. And that statement would have been that he would be dropping off the EU community team. He would actually walk out no longer be a community contributor for Wargaming products or Wargaming games. And yeah, everything was fine when he was recording and rendering this episode of his weekly video podcast, Mingles with Jingles. Unfortunately, it didn't end there, because even though one other EU community contributor, Quickie Baby, had to actually create a video because his review, where is it? His preview on the Chrysler KGF was completely different. And everyone kept on giving him crap about being a sell-off and a shill and being in Wargaming's back pocket and being paid by Wargaming to actually say good things about the tanks, and he had to do this. And quite literally at the same time, and around the same time, well, or earlier, the shit really hit the fan as Wargaming North America decided to put their great big size 20s into the equation and doused the dying fire with highly flammable aircraft fuel. And what did they do? Well, they sent a statement to Kotaku and to Jim Sterling, who, quite frankly, and I'll pull this up, ended up adding extra in. Yeah, here it is. And this part here was what Jim Sterling focused on when he was sent that message by Wargaming North America, who have absolutely nothing to do with the EU Community Contributor Program. Sir Foch isn't even a Wargaming NA community contributor. And Jim Sterling actually asked for proof, and he didn't get none. And this little increase in the flames actually caused a lot more to happen. As you can see here, well, I can actually say the first one to pull the trigger was PointyHairedJedi, who, at 10 to 8, announced that he was stepping down as an EU community contributor. And at nearly 10 past 11, the Mighty Jingles announced that he was also walking away from the community contributor program. And not only that, we also have the author of the World of Tanks status report block. Well, I'm not sure if it's exclusive World of Tanks, but most of it, Rita Gamer, or Rita Sabral, as she is known. On YouTube, is also considering her community contributor status. So thus far, they've already kicked out Sir Foch, they kicked out Circumflexes and asked him back, because everything that happened with him happened after the initial contact with Sir Foch. And then we had this, which cost them another 2 thus far community contributors, who had originally said, yeah, fine, we've got no problems. And I can probably guess why you're wondering why this has anything to do with me. Well, for the one person who has already watched it, I'm actually gonna just a minute, undo. Right, so I'm gonna kill that, kill this, kill this, kill this, and sign out of my private Twitter. Right, so So, why does this have anything to do with me? Why am I putting my foot in, and why does this have anything to do with me? Well, initially, this goes back to the test that I actually did on the SteelSeries Apex Raw keyboard, because unlike the last time I did with the Apex Firefight K01 and the Cougar Vantar, I actually did a physical test of the keyboard, both generalized typing and in games. And the two games I actually chose were World of Tanks and World of Warships, which is where this connection comes in. And, well, over the past 24 hours, I had actually considered doing a World of Warships video series of my going up from where I was currently at in the Japanese tech tree for battleships, cruisers and destroyers. From there, all going up to tier 10. And when I was actually going through all of this with when I was actually watched this, I was still apprehensive about what I was going to do about this little series, because I was actually going to do it after the 1 year anniversary. And I was apprehensive, but I was thinking, yeah, I'll still go ahead with it. I'll probably end up start recording it before the 1 year anniversary. And that was until this entered the fray. And I've got a cat being a complete idiot. And this entered the fray with the Mighty Jingles announcing on video that he was putting the Wargaming EU community contributor program. And because of this, because the reason he has actually done this, and I think most of the others have done this, is because, well, he's protected in EU, he's not protected from Wargaming as a global operation. So while he is still an EU community contributor, Wargaming NA could just copyright strike his content. You're gonna have to excuse me, as I said, I've got some bloody nasty cold or something. Yeah. And this has actually put my consideration of actually doing this World of Warships video series in question. For whoever is actually interested in it. And quite frankly, it will still go ahead. But it's not going to be starting on the 1 year. Because I do not want to actually start this, end up uploading a video, and then have it nobbled around by a bloody idiot at Wargaming. Either being North America, Russia, Southeast Asia, or Europe. Right. Yeah, so this is all I have to say on this. Just a pity I was going to have to say it and put what I was actually planning for going beyond my first YouTube year on the back burner. So, yeah. This is Blighty Otaku signing off. Until next time, I'll catch you laters.